Be high for this interview.
God, who knows?
God, I hope
Hopefully.
so.
Well,
Really.
guaranteed.
He'll
So
be.
what you're saying?
He'll
is
be
this
high.
show-
He'll be high. I'll be drunk, and it'll be great.
So what you're saying is this show is solely sponsored by AB or CBD Alias or whatever.
Alias Sport.
Yeah.
Good job with the name. No.
I should have brought a blunt just to.
Oh my God!
Hey,
No,
Mike.
we're not doing that. We're on YouTube. We cannot do that on YouTube.
Do you,
okay?
you think Travis brings him on and say, "Brought to you by Alias CBD Mike Grondel"? Or no?
Oh yeah! Brought to
does
you
he
by
blow
Alias Sport.
It's a crapshoot at this point, to be honest
Okay.
with you.
All right. Anyway,
Depends on how many of those he has by the time.
What is that?
Mike
A
comes
Red Bull
on.
vodka or what?
No,
a
it's
Red
Captain
Bull
and Coke.
vodka. Do I look like a 13-year-old girl?
Oh God, Captain and Coke.
I don't know what you look like, to be honest.
Jimmy Neutron. Fucking Jimmy Neutron.
A squid.
Wow.
Dude, we're not the only people that said it.
What?
Other people, Jimmy Neutron.
Oh, well, I'm fine with that. He was a boy genius, and I'm
All
like
right.
a genius about stuff, so it's cool.
So what did I walk in on? Where are we at?
Just a
Nothing. We
spot,
just
just a
got
read.
the intros done. We
Oh.
were talking a little bit about me being on Cooksy and the Coach this afternoon. So we are now we're moving on. We're wrapping up the Oakland race. So, oh wait, hold on. The 450 Oakland wrap up section.
Oh, are you just gonna do 450s first every time now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. Brought to you by our presenting sponsor, Energy Fuel. Best fucking drink out there. Keep yourself fueled, energized, and strong from start to finish.
Yeah, because I can tell you right now, 250 class, I'm gonna go on a fucking tangent.
Pick up.
Are you going to go on the same tangent I'm going on?
Can I finish the sponsor read, please, assholes? From the people that are actually paying us. Well, paying for stuff so we can do this fucking show at this point. Energy Fuel. Pick yours up at CoachRobStore.com. Shout out Coach Rob. Incomplete Racing
Love you, Coach.
Solutions. Moto E Academy. Coming soon to Michigan. All right. Anyway, let's get started. 450s.
Hey,
Oh, boy.
we called the winner.
Yes,
We're
we did.
fucking
We
right on
did.
that.
I knew I was going to get to that point, but we called him.
Hey, looks fucking good on that Kawasaki, doesn't he, boys?
Jason Anderson went. Did you see? Can we talk about the crash he had in practice? Holy fucking shit.
I don't really think it was that bad.
Dude, it was pretty bad.
He hit a tough block and just let go of the bike.
He
Simple
jumped
as that.
out. He jumped out of the rut.
I mean,
Whiskeyed.
no worse than
Tough
what happened
block.
in 2018 when he stepped onto the table and decided to cross run
That
and
was
die.
worse. That was the worst.
That's what I mean.
Like I don't think his crash in practice was really that bad.
No.
He said it was pretty gnarly, and he was the one who did it. So
I do think, though, the one funny thing, a little off topic, but talk about crashes in practice when they were focusing on Jerry Robin and he got loose in the whoops at the exact time that Blair was talking about him and he goes over the berm.
that was
and then
epic.
Blair's like, oh, yep, never mind.
that was a very
Oh,
Jerry.
yeah, I
that was a
forgot
very
about that.
Jerry Robin thing to do.
Yep.
But overall, dude, he looked good all day. I mean, pretty much we thought he was going to be good last week, and here we are, parity, two races, two winners.
Think about had he got second last week like he should have. He'd have a
Red
decent sized gap.
plates look pretty good on those cows.
He'd have a decent sized points lead right about now.
You want to know what would be hilarious?
What's that?
He'd have the red plate before AC ever did. He's got a win before AC on the cow.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but this
second
is-
race ever, wins a Supercross. Oh, my God.
But
Oh.
this is what I mean. This is what we thought he should be doing since 2018 is winning 1,400 days, 47 races between wins. Like that's
That
a
winner was
lot.
impressive, though, boys. That was an impressive
It
win.
was.
Through the
last night.
pack. He had pressure, and we're going to talk about that guy too.
I mean, me and Wyman were talking about this before I came here, and we were talking about, like, you know, certain guys, like, would tell like, had Eli got a start or if Kenny would have. But I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really think it would have mattered what happened with anybody else last night. I think Ando was going to win that race no matter what.
Dude, he looked good. He was going to be on the box pretty much.
And he was good all the way to the end.
Yes.
is what I like.
Which is something, let's be honest, he's had a hard time doing since his championship, looking good the entire main. Like, there'll be moments where he's like really fast, and then it'll be like, oh, he drops a second a lap. But dude, the entire main, I mean, I don't know what the lap times look like, but I'm going to assume he was probably within a second of his lap time. The
Yeah,
entire
and
I don't know.
let's point out that he had a Baker boy behind him, and you know the Baker boy shouldn't get tired, and
No,
he kind
exactly.
of broke him.
He did. I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, he said in the press conference, he was like, yeah, I was lagging a little bit. Then I turned around and realized like how close AP actually was and went, oh, shit, I guess I should get going.
Well, that's my point, though. He was able to turn it back on.
Yeah. So,
it's really hard because it's only the second round, but I kind of said this in the A1 post show that if Ando continues to do this and say we get to round 5 or 6 and he has another win and then just a bunch of podiums, man, that's going to... I just
I
feel
don't
like
know.
he's...
I'm completely out on championship talk
I am
because
too.
we're 2 rounds in.
But I think I am too. What I'm trying to get at is, and I think Anderson is one of those guys, since he's already done it, and because people already have this narrative on him, that if you give him a little bit of confidence, I don't know if he's one of those guys that you want to give said confidence to.
I don't think so either.
Because he already knows how to win a championship, whether you want to say, oh, he won that because he was the fastest guy. Like I said, he knows how to win. He's in a program or a situation that he's really comfortable with. He obviously loves and gels with the bike. He gets along with everybody there. Mm-hmm. He starts clicking off more wins, especially because it's been such a long time, and he's going to have that hunger to keep doing it because, let's be honest, since 2018, there has been a huge narrative around him that, oh, it was one and done. It's never going to happen again. He hadn't, like you just said, he hadn't won since Atlanta.
I did notice he starts a lot better on that bike, too.
Well, yeah, that's
he's up near the front.
Well, in that power curve, I was telling this to Wyman, that power curve fits, like, he's a guy that likes to ride a gear high. He rides in the meat of the power. You listen to him half the time, even in corners, he's in third and fourth most of the time. So that Cowie, as much as I'm not a Cowie guy, that motor fits his style, just like the chassis does. Like I said, I'm out on the picking championships. It's way too early, especially with how the points are right now. But I'm just saying that if he can keep this going, we're going to have to reevaluate where we think that he'd never win a title again because, dude, that was just – I was super impressed. I picked him for the win. We both did, but I didn't think he would win like that.
It was impressive, but I'm much like you. Until we get
early.
5 or 6 rounds in and I see either the parity continue or him continue to stay up there, I'm out. I'm talking about championship talk. Great ride.
Yep.
Not taking anything away from it. He looks awesome on that bike, but I think he looks awesome much like he did on the Husky, and it was just last night was his night.
The one thing I will say, though, the last thing I'll say about him as far as the title, if he keeps this going, is, and people don't talk about this enough, they want to talk about, oh, how he won the title, like, oh, it was lucky he wasn't the fastest guy. He won the title in 2018 in a way that is sustainable, the same way Ryan Dungey did.
Yeah, I mean, 2-3 rounds ago, he blew out his front wheel and kind of had a rodeo and still won it.
He won 4 races that year, and then the rest he was pretty much on the box the entire season. Mm-hmm. We talk about who's the fastest guy, but Anderson won a championship with something you can do every time. Yeah. So I just, like I said, I'm totally out on it. It's way too early, especially with how crazy the 450 class is right now. Mm-hmm. But you come back in 6 rounds and he's doing this again. Man, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to beat a guy with the way he holds himself.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't put pressure on himself.
No. But let's move on. So second place, AP. I mean, that was a completely different AP that showed up from
Can I point something out? I didn't listen
wrong.
to the interview. Did you guys listen to the interview?
The swap, which one? The interview after the race?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't listen to it either.
The press conference?
No, interview on the podium.
I listened to the press conference. Well, yeah,
I wanted to go back and listen to it, but I don't have Peacock yet. I'm still bumming off my boys. But
come on, Cole.
What?
Come on, it's $5.99 a month, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys all want to split it?
No.
Oh.
I just pay for it myself. He
Anyway.
pays for it himself.
Can I get that password?
No, just pay for it, you cheap fuck.
You don't stay rich by giving money away.
Oh,
my
God.
God. Here we go.
Anyways, can we get back to this?
I'm 90% sure he said, yeah, we had a great week of testing here in California, figured out some things with the bike. Who said that? Come on, give me some credit.
No,
here.
I'll admit, I was fucking wrong.
Give me some credit here.
Yeah, you're right. I was totally wrong.
If I would go back to the interview and listen to that, and that's what he said, unless I'm just hearing what I want to hear.
He did say the testing thing. He also said in the press conference that he was super, like, last week did not feel like a race to him. Mm-hmm. He didn't get up for it, is what he said, which I understand that, too, coming from a sports background, of, like, there's some nights that you just show up and you're not in it. Like,
you're just going through the motions.
Yeah. And it just, like, doesn't feel like game day. And then there's other nights, like last night, he shows up. Feels like race day. Yeah. He's ready to fucking go. And boom, he comes out, gets a second. And I mean...
That's another crazy part of our sport, too, is the mental side of it. We always talk about it, but those guys that can just lock into that mode each weekend is pretty incredible.
Yep.
The big question, though, is that if the testing thing, that was pretty much what it was at A1. And
now it's just going to get better. But the fitness is going to start peaking a little later in the season.
That's my question, though, is do we think he can keep doing it, though?
I don't know. The jury's out on him as far as I'm concerned. As I said on the Cooksey show earlier, I've been on this train.
You were on the Cooksey show.
I've been on this train. It was a very lateral move from Yamaha to KTM, so I don't necessarily see this being much different than if he would have been on Blue Crew this year. It just was a lateral move, and this is just where it's at. Because he asked me if I thought that the Alden Baker training program was part of this, and I said, I don't.
No, because he had good rides last year.
Yeah, I don't give that that kind of credit for a ride like this, like whatever. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, if he stays up on the box, then okay, maybe we can start talking about like new AP. However, if it continues and it's 8th, 5th, 3rd, 8th, 5th, 3rd, 2nd, whatever, same AP, different year.
With AP, my biggest thing is kind of like last year in, what was it? Was it the second Atlanta round?
Yeah.
That he was leading the mud race. Was it the second one? The one he was leading and he got loose in the whoops and went down?
Yeah.
We've seen that from AP. I mean, dude, we've seen it in outdoors. A few times he was leading, he'd make a dumb mistake, especially the one at Unadilla when he almost killed himself.
Yeah.
It's just, we know he knows how to win championships on the 250s, but the thing I got to see with AP is how does he handle being out front for an entire main?
Yeah.
And I know that Atlanta was different. You can say the track was greasy, whatever. He was, wasn't really trying to rhythm through that whoop section. He was trying to blitz through, and maybe that was his downfall. But we haven't seen enough of AP lead a 450 race enough to know, like, can he keep doing this? And is this a new AP?
Well, I mean, he led Daytona for a long time.
But my point is that he didn't finish it, though. He didn't get the win.
Right.
That's my point.
And I think that was a fitness thing.
Yes. So, like, to me, it's kind of like what we say with Sexton. Like, once he gets that first win, we all know it's easier once you get the first win. I just still have to see, I got to see all the way down to literally the last lap. Like, he could have a 10-second lead with a lap to go or 2 laps to go, and I still will not be comfortable that can he finish that final lap.
No.
Which is not a knock on him. It's just, you just don't know.
But I was thinking about this morning, okay? And we'll go off on a little tangent here. So you've got AP, Mookie, AC, Sexton, and we're all like, all these dudes could win. But then they all have these little hiccups, and we're like, dude, what the hell? Like, are they ever going to do it? Are they ever going to do it? At some point, it has to happen, okay? At some point, one of them or multiples of them are going to have to pull off the first one. And then that's when we see, okay, who are they at that point? Are they a one and done? Or are they, that clicked the gear to take me to the next level? But it has to happen, okay? Because Kenny, Eli, and Webb are all going to, quote-unquote, retire here at some point soon, especially Kenny and Eli, we know, are the first couple to go. Ando's probably getting really close also. Webb probably has a few more years, but then you're going to have a few more years of these guys. So at some point, these guys are going to have to win. Like, it's just law of what we see because we don't have anyone a la Stewart, a la Carmichael, Chad that's just going to go out and fucking dominate the entire season. Like, it's just not going to happen anymore.
The points right now, I know it's 2 rounds, are fucking crazy.
Dude, it's awesome.
I never would have guessed that this would the points
The top
would look
8
like.
are 8 points separated.
Yeah, I never would have guessed that.
Yeah, Roxon had a shit dick night, and he's only
8 out, yeah.
Like I said, I would never have guessed. I mean, you could guess the Coop thing, but if you would have told me after 2 rounds, and like I said, I'm not trying to, it's 2 rounds, that Ando, Coop, and Barsha would be your top 3 in points, I'd be like, there's no way, you're high.
And I was shocked when they were showing the points and Barsha comes out of there with the red plate.
That didn't shock me at all. When he was in 3rd and the night Kenny was having, I was like, dude, Barsha's
I didn't even think twice about the red plate.
Well, like I said, though, think about the fact that if Barsha wouldn't have sawed off his front end right now, Ando 2-1 the first 2 rounds, his points lead would be pretty decent right now.
Yeah. I mean, Barsha 2/3.
Tomac was catching him though.
Yeah, and I'm not putting any stock in this at all because we've seen Barsha have good starts to the years.
Yeah,
how many years in a row now? This is the same Barsha we've seen before, other than he didn't win the opener.
But last year, though, like we said in the preview show, though, last year was the furthest he had been into a championship where he was still he was good last year. Yes, he kind of faded off a little bit. But, I mean, dude, he's kind of doing the same thing. He just doesn't have the win yet. Now, if he can keep this rolling, like, it's going to be the same as last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's nothing to sneeze at, but
I think it's hilarious, too, like whenever Tomac's behind him.
Yeah.
Tomac won't pass him.
That was awesome.
No.
Did anybody else see that last night? See Tomac kind of catching him and then go, he's never going to get by him anyway because he's going to freak out.
Yeah.
So.
That was like he would catch him, drop a little bit, catch him, drop a little bit, and I think at some point Eli would go, dude, there's like 2 laps to go. There's no point in like ragdolling myself into the ground.
Which is wild because after qualifying and in the heat race yesterday, was anybody else thinking like, dude, Tomac's going to
I thought Tomac was going to walk everyone.
Yeah.
I mean,
after
that heat race, dude?
After that heat race, I was like, he is fucking fast.
That's why I made the comment. And the bike looked good, too.
Yeah, it did.
It looked real fucking good.
I'll tell you what, though. He's 5 points out now?
Is he 4th or 5th?
No, he's
1 through 10.
Yeah,
still have a shot.
I mean, you could throw a blanket over.
So,
I mean, you're right, Cole. You could throw a blanket over through 1 through 10.
But it's like I said, and I've been saying, if they figure this bike out for him, and he is within spitting range like he is right now at the end of January, Like, these boys are in trouble because we all know February, March, April is fucking when he turns it on.
Question, though, is...
Yeah, but other boys are going to be turning it on at the same time.
Well, yeah, but... So the winner in all of this is all of us because we're going to get to see him and Webb fucking battle it out.
Dude, see, that's the crazy thing, though, is it goes back to not getting ahead of ourselves. I just don't know after the way these 2 rounds have gone that I can just... We think it's going to be between Eli and Webb, but, like, I just... Dude, I don't know. There's so many variables this year. Like, we talk every year parity, and then we were like, fuck, it's always the same 3 guys.
Well,
but so far through 2 rounds, and yes, it's only 2 rounds, but, dude, we've never had it like this.
And I hate to be this guy, too. Knock on wood.
Same. Last year was the same.
Nobody's hurt yet.
Exactly. Yeah, but who was the 3 guys, though, 1, 2, 3 after first 2 rounds last year? Eli, Kenny, Coop. Those were your 3 guys in the points.
But it's the same thing as last year. We had multiple different dudes on the podium.
Coop also didn't get a 7th place
couple different
in the
people
first
win.
2 rounds last year.
So, like...
It wasn't like this last year.
I get what you're saying, and I don't disagree.
I'm not convinced. I'm convinced by the time we hit mid-February here, so we're 6 rounds in, 7 rounds in, whatever. I'm convinced by the time we hit mid-February, the cream will rise to the top. You're going to see Webb, Tomac, maybe Kenny, maybe somebody else. Maybe Ando's still
Kenny.
there.
That was pretty discouraging.
I'll tell you what, though. Last night proved that Coop's, if he doesn't get a top 5 start, he's not winning a race. Nobody is.
Yeah, Coop's night was weird. It was super weird because he was good in qualifying.
Well, he was good the first session of qualifying. The second session, when the track started
you know what
breaking
was
down.
really weird is Coop was better in the first session when there were whoops.
Yeah.
And then they broke down and he was worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, too. Another thing, once the track started, and it definitely didn't get as soft as we thought it would last night, not compared to the years before, 2018, 2019. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, that is weird because you usually think, too, when the track starts to break down and starts hitting the bottom and stuff, like Coop just being able to carve corners, like that's where he makes up his time.
Yeah.
And he was pretty much in the same spot the whole night, though.
He didn't move forward at all.
He didn't go forward, or he didn't really go back either.
And he didn't really drop Marv either after Marv caught him.
Yep.
Nope. Okay, so let's talk Mookie here. Kind of same as what we've seen before.
He ain't winning a race this year.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Man, I'm
just waiting to see how this program works for him because those boys don't peak until the other side of the coast.
I just don't see it. And also another thing too, and it was, I understand the whoops were either getting that rut like a little bit close to the far right, and then they were getting cupped. But dude, what was it when who was he behind? It was, I can't remember. It was in the heat race of the main, but he jumped in behind somebody. He caught him in the whoops. And you're just thinking, oh, he's going to blow that second set of whoops. Oh, he's going to blow right by him.
He was not good in the whoops last
That's
night.
what I mean, though. So, like, it's not I'm not saying it's a bike thing. It's not a bike thing or whatever. But that just shows me that I still think in the back of his head, he is concerned that if he goes balls to the wall, heat race Mookie, that he's going to hit the ground.
Yeah.
Because you would normally see him blow past people. And I'm blanking on who it was. I can't remember if it was in the heat race of the main.
The heat race, and then he went to go rail the shit out of that corner.
Do you remember who it was, though? Was it Kenny? It was somebody that... Was it Eli? Maybe it was Eli.
I don't know. Every lap I was like, yep, he's going to square this up.
And he did.
To the left of that double.
Yep.
All the way down the whoops on the left side.
And he didn't.
He got close. And then
he didn't, but he didn't. But normally where you see him like right at the tail end of the whoops where he really starts driving forward, he'd go past him. Yeah. He didn't. And... I know that it's just one section, but because he is so much better than everybody in that one particular section, to see him not do that, that just I can't.
It's a little weird.
I can't think. I don't know. I don't think he's going to get it. I don't think he's going to get a win this year.
I don't know. I'm not off it yet.
I'm not. Yeah, I think end of the year again, like he snuck in a podium last year, like that kind of shit.
Maybe I don't know. I think it's going to come before that.
Do you think it'll become on the West Coast or the East Coast?
So out of the Baker boys, then let me hit you with this: which one of the 2 Baker boys gets one first?
AP.
I called 2 for AP, but
I'm going to call AP will get a win. I didn't call AP for a win, but I think if you're asking
out of the 3 Baker boys, who wins one first?
Wait a minute.
I'm going to stick.
2. AP and Mookie.
AP and Mookie?
AP.
I'm going to stick with AP.
I'm
going to stick with Mookie, sorry.
See, I got to go AP because I don't trust AP. Mookie every race. Whereas AP, even if he's not the new AP is just more conservative than Mookie. Like, I feel like if Mookie's in a situation to win a race, he is going to go next level hyperspeed, and you're just going to see him fucking die.
It's going to be awesome. Okay. So let's talk about HRC because I honestly thought in practice that the whole 450 HRC team was done. And dude.
You mean when Chase decided to blitz the top of Kenny's head?
That's scary.
Dude, we were 3 inches away from another Weston Pike.
Which if
literally,
anybody
if you watch
knows
that, he like skimmed up here. That's why the visor when all the shit, and like you move 3 inches this way, and he, bam,
Which if anybody knows what we're
goggles.
talking about, it's not. That's a.
I
mean, it's a
terrible thing.
I mean, it's horrible, but seriously, we were like 3 inches away from a secondary Weston Pike here.
Did you guys think that when Kenny got up and he was kind of like sitting there and he wasn't like he was moving, but he wasn't like trying to see if all of his limbs were moving, but he was just kind of sitting there on his ass? Did any of it going through your mind like, well, this is the end of Ken Roxon. Like this is done.
Yeah,
because we didn't see the. This was before we saw the replay. I was really impressed
that he kept riding that qualifying session.
And then threw a knack and stuff, I guess. So
yeah,
I actually was more impressed the fact that Sexton got up the way he did, because like when he clipped Kenny's head and then it bounced him into the whoop and shot him forward, I was like, oh, here we go again with Chase Sexton.
Did they even show his whole?
No, I didn't see.
I didn't see it either. Somebody probably has it somewhere.
Is it bad that when that flag came out and I knew those two were the only two up there on the track that I thought Sexton had done something stupid? And
I thought Sexton did something stupid.
Yeah. So
he also
super lucky to get away with it.
Had a weird day. Sexton, that is.
Sexton had a really
to
weird
win the
day.
heat race and then to just drop anchor like he did in the main.
Yeah,
after the way he rode in, like, and he hit the ground. He crashed at some point because he was running 8th and then he goes back to 11th.
Yeah,
he was in like 5th at one point.
Yeah, so like within like the first 5 minutes or whatever. So he hit the ground somewhere that we didn't see. But then even when he got all of his bearings and he calmed himself down, he didn't go anywhere.
No,
like
Ken didn't go anywhere. He was 13th and didn't go anywhere.
So
I think Ken though had a lingering.
No, I think what happened with Ken is when he hit the ground in the main, he went, okay, this has been a long day. Let's just get the fuck out of here in one piece, and we'll move on to San Diego.
Really weird thing for Ken to crash the way
that
he
is
did, too.
super.
But it's not weird. I think it's something to do with that bike. Like
the new bike?
He crashed that way last year in Atlanta in the whoops.
I don't
Same
know.
exact way.
I think it was
and
just
then did it twice. And then Hunter Lawrence, he started getting the same kicks.
I think it was just those whoops last night. Those whoops were a fucking minefield for everybody. How many guys did we see hit the ground in the whoops?
But
Shimoda does a front flip.
Kenny doesn't normally go down in the whoops, though.
Mumford died multiple times in the whoops during the day. He said in his
to Cole's point,
post-race.
Kenny doesn't normally go down.
Kenny
in the whoops,
doesn't, but still, how many?
Like if you were to
did
say
we
that
see
he like
crash?
G'd out on a rhythm section and like got loose, I'd be like, oh, okay, because we've seen that from Kenny. But like in the whoops, like let's be real, Kenny not only has the best form in the whoops of anybody, but his bike always tracks like an arrow through the whoops.
Yeah,
that was weird to me.
Yeah, it was,
and it was like same thing. It gave me flashbacks of Atlanta last year. He went down the same way, and then to do it again in the main in the other set.
Like I said, I hate to harp on the fact that I keep saying with this being the second round, but dude, there's just a lot of telling things already with these guys that like I feel that this is going to be just a rough year for Kenny.
Yeah,
it's going to be a very up and down year. And that's why I still stand by. I don't think he's going to be top 3 in points at the end of the year.
I'm just completely out on Kenny altogether because this shit happens to him before, and everybody's like,
and he's a mental fuck.
He's done, and then comes out and dominates everybody the next round.
He's still within 10 points, so like whatever.
8 points after a 13th, you got to be pumped on that.
Yeah.
No. If you were to look at the points, I would not disagree with you guys at all. But I'm just saying, though, for him to have that type of night only 2 rounds in, that's not a Ken Roxon thing that's normal for him. Like, he doesn't normally have those kind of struggles in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah. No. It was just a weird night all around. So, okay, moving on. Let's talk about your boy, Dylan.
Rode good in the main.
Bad fucking starts again, just like we've said.
And he got 6th.
Yep.
So he caught and passed Cooper Webb and dropped him.
Yep.
So I mean, good night for him. I mean, he's probably
still your title guy.
No.
Do you think he's out of the title contention?
I don't think he's out. I think once again it's too early, but he's not my title. I don't know who my title pick is at this point. I don't think so.
He's out.
I don't think so. Where's he at in the points?
I don't know. Hold on.
Because I'm honestly asking. I don't know.
No, I mean I'm looking here.
But yeah, again, his starts.
Well, Eli's in the same boat because like Eli, this is 2 rounds now that they've literally started 3 spots different from each other.
He is in 11th.
What's his like? How far back is he?
He's got 24 points, so I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't think he's out of
15 back, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he's out of contention, but he's not my title pick right now. But I don't know who would be my title pick if you put a gun to my head right now. I don't know who's the favorite.
Yeah, he's 15 out.
Now, if he gets over the 21, 22 mark, then yeah, I'm out.
If he doesn't get a win in the next 2 weeks, he's done.
I mean, yeah. But
he needs to win either San Diego or Anaheim too. If he doesn't win San Diego
have
or
his
Anaheim
performances humbled you at all, Justin?
For him?
Yes.
No, because this is what he's kind of done his entire career.
Here we go.
What? Did he not prove for 2 weekends in a row though that if you're going to say one
You're
person,
significantly lower than what you were on him
because he hasn't won a race yet. I'm not gonna pick. I didn't pick Dylan to win.
I'm just busting your balls because you like put a crown on this man and lowered him from the ceiling.
Okay, but Cooper Webb doesn't. Cooper Webb doesn't have a win yet this season through 2 rounds. Ken Roxon doesn't. He got the one right there. Eli doesn't have a win.
At the podium.
Cooper Webb's got two Supercross titles.
I understand
So
that.
there's a big difference between him and Dylan Ferrandis.
But also Cooper Webb is not going to come through the pack either. Just like Dylan's not going to come back through the pack and win.
Coop has done it before.
If you wanted me to give a percentage pie as to who I thought would come through the pack and win a race first, either Cooper Webb or Dylan Ferrandis, I have 100% confidence in Cooper Webb. And
I would say Coop just because of his Oakland ride last year, kind of what he did at A1.
But I don't think this year is anything like last year.
Houston
I think this year
too.
is, okay.
We could keep going.
So do you think that Cooper Webb, if he got a 17th place start, would be able to come up to 6th right now?
It depends.
I think he could come close.
Yeah.
Where was it last night then?
Webb?
Last night looked
Dylan
like he was just kind of riding around.
Last night was a weird night
and
for
Dylan
everyone.
caught and passed him from 7 spots behind him.
I don't care because there's nothing that's telling me that Dylan.
It's okay. When we get to Thrasher, I'm gonna fucking school the shit
boy,
out of him.
here
I'm
we
on
go.
your page on that one.
I'm gonna fucking
Travis sounds like an idiot when we get to that
There
point.
is nothing.
Look, I understand you guys' reservation because
when we get to outdoors and you tell me, dude, he's going to get 30th place starts and win that fucking title, I'm going to be right beside you going, yep, he fucking is. But in Supercross, I'm fucking out, dude. He just doesn't.
Can I just ask you?
Supercross doesn't come to him as naturally.
No, he just
can I just
doesn't
ask
have
you
the
one
starts.
thing? If he gets
maybe it's the greats.
If I can just ask, if I have just one thing, then I want to move off of this because there's other guys we can talk about.
I know. We got to move
All
on.
right, both of you. This question for both of you. If he gets a 5th place starter better, is he going to win?
No.
How do you figure?
I don't know.
It depends on who's out front. There's a lot of
I'm a
there's a lot of variables
shot
here, but
okay. So
hold on. Let me start running down the list here. Ken Roxon, Cooper Webb, Eli Tomac.
he caught and passed Cooper Webb last
Anderson.
night, and I guarantee if you look at his lap times from A1, they're better than Cooper's because he was coming through the pack at an insane rate.
I guarantee you Dylan is sitting there going, what the fuck do I have to do to get a win? And
If
Webb,
Dylan-
after last night, is like, yeah, whatever.
If Dylan gets a top,
cool.
okay, so say Dylan gets a top 5 start and everything, like he doesn't have bike issues, nobody takes him out. It's just a normal night, like him putting in laps.
who's out front?
It doesn't matter who's out front.
No,
he's caught.
no,
he's proven
it
he can.
matters.
I think it matters who's out front.
Okay, answer me this then. How does it matter? No, I'm not gonna get irate because I'm gonna save that for Thrasher. How does it matter when he's proven 2 weekends in a row right now that he can catch and pass those dudes? And I know that passing them is different, but he literally passed Cooper Webb last night like he was standing still. And you could say that he was just riding around, but let's be real. Cooper Webb is not a fucking easy person to pass. And he passed him like it was nothing. So you want to talk about, okay, these guys, like it matters out who's out front, but how does it when he's 2 weekends in a row right now, he's proven he can catch and pass these dudes? That's the only thing that's going to separate him from getting a good start and winning. What does he have to do then? Because he caught all these guys 2 weekends in a row right now from 18th and a 15th place start. So
if you're asking me, could it happen?
No, I'm asking
Yes.
you, would it happen if he gets a 5th place start next week, no matter who's out front? If he's a 5th place and he's within eyeing distance of the 1st place dude after lap 2, does he win a race? Does he win that race?
I'm 50-50. Honestly, I'm 50-50.
Okay, fine.
That is the best you're going to get me is 50-50. Because if he can see, coming across the line, lap 2, he can see Kenny. Say Kenny's within 3 seconds of him.
Yeah, and I don't really care who's out front.
But Kenny's
Anderson,
one of those dudes. He could put 10 seconds on him in the next 2 laps, and then Dylan might catch him.
Yeah.
But Dylan might not.
Or he could drop anchor 10, 12 minutes
Could do
in.
that too.
So that's just, I'm just looking at it as the fact that he...
The best I'm going to give him is a 50-50. There is no, other than him hole shotting and taking off in the first 3 laps.
What happens if he hole shots a race?
If he hole shots, then I could very easily see it getting done. But I could also very easily, like, I'm more... say 80%.
Because I don't think the crashing thing. I don't think the crashing thing is Dylan's problem anymore.
I don't think the crashing thing is either.
Because that was the narrative on him for a while.
It was, yes, very much so. But I think the bad starts are the narrative on him right now.
Yeah, I just look at his speed. That I think that if he gets a start like that, I don't think there's anybody faster than him in the class for 20+1.
If he gets a start,
I saw a tweet from Ferrandis maybe or somebody, but
was it
very
saying,
pissed off.
Was it saying fuck Pulpamex? Because
No,
that'd be
no.
awesome.
Very
Was he pissed at us?
very pissed off about not getting good starts. Knows that he needs to work on it. So
Well, yeah, and that's good though.
and he's known that forever though.
And it's not like he's probably not working on them. I mean, we heard stories in outdoors where they were burning up clutches.
He was practicing starts in Danger Boys vlog So he's got to be practicing them.
They better figure fucking something else out.
It might be a great thing though. You might be onto that because his starts at the beginning of outdoors weren't great, but then midway into the season, like his average.
That's why I like the dirt start. Like there's an art. There's a science to packing a gate.
Which and also with the way Dylan is, with how naturally talented is and his style, like.
Which is why I brought it up. Maybe it's the greats that are hurting his.
Which is really weird though, because also on the other end of that conversation, this is the last thing I'll say. Greats are going to be consistent every time. Now, yes, obviously your traction might be so good that when you hit a rut that's a little jagged, it's going to hit you harder, but the great is the same every fucking time.
I think 100% to me it comes to whoever that technician is. I mean, look at Anderson. Dog shit starts on the Factory Husky team. They obviously got issues over there.
I can tell you this, that if Dylan and Eli start within 3 spots of each other for the next, like, they keep doing this by the time we go to East Coast, Yamaha's going to be pulling their fucking hair out.
Yeah.
Because it's 2 weekends in a row. Eli has started, like, 12th, and Dylan started, like, 15th.
Well, they better send somebody in there to figure out the fucking ECU then, because the Honda guys got it dialed, the fucking KTM guys got it figured out.
Cowie's dialed, yeah. So,
but
all right.
Anyway.
As far as 450 stuff goes, the last thing I got, can we talk about the Brees on 7 Deuce Deuce crime, and then the instant fucking
Can we just talk about the whole fucking LCQ?
Dude, that LCQ made up for the other 3 LCQs because the other 3 have been relatively uneventful, and I'm super sad as per everyone. I love the LCQs. And then you have that.
Brees just holding her wide open, dude.
What the fuck was he thinking?
Well,
which instance?
All right, so let's go through. Okay, so
saws off 7 Deuce.
I saw some information where when Deuce hit him in that corner, rear brake gone.
Okay.
So he went, I think, to give him a little sauce, but didn't mean to give him that much because he had no rear brake.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just the way it plays out that he just Liat yard sales himself right in front of
we got to bring that back.
Did anyone think when they went to that shot of him laying on the ground and the Deuce sitting there that the Deuce
is
took
behind
him
him like fist pumping?
I totally thought and Adam waited for him to come around and then just like whoop, zigged in front of him or something.
I can tell you when they went back across the start before the right-hander,
I thought was going to happen.
I was thinking that Adam, like you could almost tell that under the helmet he was conflicted because Brees had went by him, but obviously he was kind of coasting because he was getting his bearings. And there was a part of me that was thinking, they even said it on the broadcast, that I was like, Adam's just going to hold it wide open and fucking square him up at the apex and just hit him.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but you could tell though, he almost kind of looked conflicted because he was like looking like he was going to push, and then he just nope. And then you could just kind of see him looking around. I'm like, oh, boy.
He really went, I don't want to go to the AMA trailer tonight.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to tell you what, dude. That's 2 big dudes right there.
I'd have been in the AMA trailer so fast if he took me out like that.
Like, Adam's a thick dude, and Brees, you can obviously, you can tell, is a fucking tall guy. So, if those 2 hit each other, meaning to hit each other, dude. Someone's going to get hurt.
Honestly.
The fucking last corner, too, dude.
Dude, the last corner.
What the fuck?
So
what was he thinking?
You knew that there's no way he thought at any point he was going to be able to. I can't remember who was he. What was it? Who was in
Bryson Gardner and Joan Cross?
There was no way he thought he was going to be able to get underneath either one of them because he was literally 6 whoops back.
Yeah.
But what the
So
what?
So Cooksey talked to him and he said that what he thought was that those 2 were going to
take each other out,
have a little instance in that corner, and he's like, if I can just get close, maybe I can dive underneath and pull this off.
But he was a straightaway behind.
Yeah, bro. He was a good 6-7 whoops back.
It was not the smartest move. Poor guy.
But that's also
he's very sore today.
Oh, I bet
that's also a terrible section to do that though. Literally a right-handed bowl right out of a whoop section.
Yeah.
Dude, you know that if you send it and even if you double out, you don't hit your rear brake, it's over with.
Yeah.
You're not going to get stopped in time because it was right out of the whoops corner.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about though my boy Max Anstey giving homeboy the sauce at the finish, right before the finish.
Oh yeah, Ryan Brees.
yeah, that was good.
Can we talk about Anstey's start? What was it in the heat? As he's just railing around the outside of that first corner, trying to fucking get her done. Oh, dude,
who was that?
He was just
camera's too hot.
That thing's so dumb.
Who was that went down in front of him?
I don't remember, but dude, I'm just watching that, going, who the fuck is railing around the outside? And yep, there he was, just fucking railing.
Tell you what, though, even though that was not a good night for him, he looks good on that KTM. I like that.
He's a lot better on it.
Yeah, I like it.
And then the other guy on that team too. Is it fitness?
Yeah. I think it's. Are you talking about Joey or Shane?
Shane.
I think it's back because he looks so good in the heat races, man. And then
he looks so good in the beginning of the main.
Exactly. I mean, it could be a fitness, but I still think
he fades like Cincerillo, and I think Cincerillo's fitness. And shoulder, obviously.
I think his back is a big issue, man. God, dude, if he was 100% though, yeah.
Have you seen anything with Bogle as to why he pulled off? Did he wad it or something?
No.
Travis,
that really fucked my fantasy up.
I'm kind of heartbroken, but you're off your high horse.
Oh, we're gonna get into
No, we'll get into that in the fantasy show.
I think I won the second round. Should I be as cocky as him?
Sure, if you want to.
I'm maintaining. So
Chiz got in. That was cool.
Chiz got in.
Good
that
for
was
him.
cool. I heard he's got a shoulder and elbow issue and was coming off COVID last week. So there was lots going on there.
He had COVID last week?
He had COVID last week?
He didn't have it last week. He was coming off being sick with COVID.
I was like, we're going to call out the Feld right now.
So, yeah.
I feel
is
bad
it
for Freddie
awesome
Norman.
that I might win the Justin Hill bet with you because he doesn't race a race all fucking year?
Speaking of Justin Hill, does
maybe.
anybody know what's going on with him? I know he's hurt.
Chain broke.
So, but I mean, how long is he out for? Does anybody know?
I don't know.
Indefinitely. And probably out. I mean, you just want
I don't know.
Right
They just
now.
put Nick Schmidt on that team, so he must be fucking out.
So, all right.
Hey, Amart made the main.
Amart did make the main. He looked pretty good. As far as Amart went.
Can I?
I stayed away from him fantasy
I
just
did
for the
too.
fact
Wyman
that they're
picked
going to
him.
move him out of the way.
Wyman picked him.
Yeah, Wyman
and
did
it paid
pick
off
him.
for him.
Yep.
Yeah, I was at Matt's house last night.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, sounds gay.
Can I just kind of yell at Justin Starling for just about 3 seconds in that main?
Yeah, go
where
for it.
Like, I don't know
He
who
was trying to race everybody lapping him.
Like, bro, you were literally getting split and you just fucking holding the wide open, going into corners like you're just by yourself.
Yep.
Dude, and then in the whoop section, I think it was Mookie and who was ever in front of Mookie. And Mookie, like you said, that left-handed 90, he like squared it off and then straightened out for the inside. And Starling he's just trying to race
there.
him. Just like, the fuck are you doing, Justin? Like, what are you doing, dude?
It would have been a good weekend to make up some points, but I stuck with which we'll go over in the fantasy pod. I stuck with my my mentality.
I tell you what, if I'd have picked AP though, and I said this to him when I got here, like I originally wanted to, I'd have got real good points. But
I would have picked Jason Anderson all day.
I took AP off and I put McElrath on, which Shane got me good points.
He got me good points too.
Yep.
I had Dean Wilson,
Let's
9th place.
Dean Wilson had a good heat race.
He did.
I
have a
give
good
him
heat
credit
race.
for that. That was good.
He looked good in qualifying too.
He did.
He had a pretty good day for Dino. So, all right, let's move on to
don't quit
250s here. So 250 segment tonight brought to us by our good friends over at JT Cycle. Serving Battle Creek, Michigan for over 30 years. Stop in and check out their full selection of Beta, Gas, Husky, and Suzuki motorcycles and power sports products. Need something for around the house to help keep things nice and trimmed up? They have that too, with a full lineup of Echo, Aaron's, Gravely, and Simplicity. Visit jtcycle.com or follow them on Instagram at jtcyclebc. So 250 class, I mean, Craig's the man to beat, right? This is his title to basically fucking lose.
You would think so, but the big question is he going to lose it?
I mean, he's Christian Craig, so he could.
God, it's one of those things, man, because, like, I hate to say I'm less now than I was a couple years ago, but I've always kind of been a fan of Christian.
How's that phone doing over there? Is it good?
Yeah, don't worry about me.
I've always been a fan of Christian.
Important text going on or what?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
being
cool.
grammatically correct.
Okay.
I just love watching Christian ride. We obviously
cares.
know how buttery smooth he is. Like, his story is really good because people forget. Like, there was a time where he didn't know if he was ever going to walk again.
Yeah.
Like, when he was on the TLD team, people forget about that. But, man, it's just one of those things that, like, I know he's got the 2 wins, but I can't be confident that he's going to be able to put it together for the entire
I'm not
series.
confident
No.
because there's one guy that hasn't gotten a start yet,
Hunter Lawrence.
and he's got a chip on his
Are
shoulder.
you talking about Hunter?
Yep.
Oh, it's just, he's
How
sick and tired of hearing
pissed
about
is-
Jet.
Exactly.
Let's
I
talk,
want to win as much as
let's-
I want to breathe.
let's talk about Hunter,
But
though.
I'm saying though,
I love Hunter, but Jesus Christ,
He's
that was-
gotta
he's
work.
a fucking racer.
I know.
He's got to work on his first 5 lap speed. That's where he's dying right now.
Well, his
first,
starts were trash too.
First starts and first 3 to 5 laps, he
And that
is
always-
slow to get going.
That's
And
always
then-
kind of been his problem, though. Even
Yeah.
like when he was a rookie over here in outdoors, like it took him. If he was there within the first 10 minutes, you
Yeah.
knew that he was golden. But he's always kind of been that way. Which that's a GP thing, man. Like with the way those guys approach racing, like they're not going to go sprint the first 4 or 5 laps, but he's going to have to figure it out.
I think he can play the mental game though if it comes down to it.
Oh yeah, because let's be real, Christian is soft mentally.
Yep.
Which is really shitty to say everything he's been through, but we know on a racetrack, and we saw it a few times last year, like the whole incident when who was it that he took wide when he just pushed him right off the track, like didn't even break into the corner.
Oh, remember?
Oh,
But he
I
got
don't
into
know.
it some-
Andy
yeah.
Lee at yard tail off that
Yeah,
triple.
so like we know as far as like the racing side of things, he's a little mentally soft, like he can get in his head that way. But dude, the problem is that just like with Mookie, there's one section of the track that if Christian is behind you, he's going to pass you whether you like it or not.
Which is the one section he looked way better in than any of the even 450 guys who are good at it. The whoops.
And that is going to be an issue for anybody because if you're in a last lap battle, unless you just tee him up, he's going to pass you in the whoop section. It doesn't matter. And and that's the thing is, let's be real, we have yet to see a whoop section. Like we saw the long whoop section at A1 before he went through the tunnel, but we have yet to see a deep set of whoops yet. And it is exponentially worse for everybody else when you get to those whoops compared to Christian and everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We know that Hunter's whoop speed is okay, but it's not as good as Christian's.
I just want to see Christian get a bad start because every win that he's ever had,
he's gotten the start.
He's gotten the start, pulled away, and then had one guy pass him maybe.
I didn't realize he's only won like 3 or 4 races.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't realize that.
He hasn't won a lot.
Yeah. So that's interesting. Okay, so can we talk about Shimoda's night? Because that was fucking rough.
There was a glimpse.
I'm scared, though, that he is throwing his way of racing out the door and he is trying to push the limits, and that does not fit his style.
I'm just going to say he has terrible fucking racecraft. Mosman should not get you at the same spot, the same way, in the same corner, 2 laps in a fucking row.
I just don't. I think we're going to see a lot. I hate to say this because I picked Joe. I said even way back in the summertime that if Joe was on a coast that Colt or Jet wasn't on, I felt like he could win the title.
Yeah.
He's got a new approach to racing that I'm not on board for. Like last year, I understand it. He wants to be a little more aggressive. We heard the whole stupid story during outdoors. Oh, I grew up liking Justin Barcia because he's aggressive, and that's not how I am. Well, he's trying to be that way. I think Joe is too smooth of a guy.
I don't even think he's trying to be that way. I think it's just like dumb, stupid shit happening to him right now.
But a lot of that, though, but a lot of the talking about his racecraft, though, that is part of it, and that is him going away from what he is comfortable with.
Yeah. Well, okay, so the racecraft in the heat race, yes, and hopefully that was just like a one-time deal. But then, but you got to look at, okay, last week, whether it was the gate flinch, Christian false started on him, whatever, and got him to jump, whatever, he hits the gate. Okay, cool, that's fucking stupid. We don't hardly ever see that. Then this week, like, he drops the front end in the whoops and ends up, like, freestyle front flipping all the way around, and then still gets up.
Ninja that shit right back
dude,
on.
Dude, he did, too.
That was like a Cooper Webb moment.
Yeah, that was fucking wild. But, I mean, like, both those are kind of, like, stupid, like, random things that, like, you wouldn't normally see. So, I don't know. It would be interesting to see him have a decent, just nothing crazy happens race and see, like, where he actually pans out. Because Christian didn't really drop those guys last night. Like, he just kind of got a little bit of a gap, just maintained it. That was it. So, I'm not, like, I think he's the guy to beat, but I still think he can be beat in individual races.
I think he can beat himself.
But, yeah, that's what I think is going to happen.
I think you're right, though. Like, I think the first time he doesn't get a start, I don't think he wins.
No.
Because Christian has proven
there's kind of like a meltdown kind of thing.
And he's proven through his entire career he is not somebody that's great coming through the pack at all.
And when he doesn't win a race, then how does he act in qualifying the next week?
But I do appreciate the fact where he knows that, though, and he went up to Vince Freeze and he was like, hey, bro.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he made a pass on him early, too, in that heat race.
Yeah.
So, like, that was kind of showing him, like, everybody kind of thought after we heard that whole conversation that, maybe Christian is trying to get on Vince's fruit.
Christian's just a giant question mark to me.
Yeah.
Love watching the guy ride.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Everything else is just, I'm just kind of
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very telling, depending on where he's at the halfway point. If he is the points leader at the halfway point, I think that you could almost sew it up that he's going to win the title. But if he's in a crazy battle, man, with somebody, whoever it is, and I mean, at this point, you would think Hunter's probably going to be the guy.
Yeah.
Man,
I don't even know. I don't think you can call it with him until it's over. I mean, look at last year.
Yeah.
He was
we'll
right
throw in
there
a couple
in
East-West showdowns.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. We get 2 of them again this year. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So
Throw those in, too.
Can we talk about the third place guy? South America?
He was, why does it say?
Why, yes. Yes, we can. He's the real deal.
He is the real deal. Kind of like
deal.
this guy was trying to say, like pretty much for, I don't know.
But we were just worried, and you got to be worried about it, too, the EBV.
But not in Supercross. I'm not worried about in Supercross.
He is impressing me. That's not as much of a concern. It was, as I said on the Cooksey Show, he's nothing he did last year other than, yes, he won that one race, which, okay, cool, you can get, we'll call it quote-unquote lucky, win a race, whatever. But there wasn't any pizzazz outside of that. His finishes were still good, okay? His finishes were still good.
But he was a fucking rookie.
Well,
and he's 18 years old.
And we're going to get to that when we talk
that
about
is
Thrasher.
true, too. But he did overheat at one of the Atlanta rounds.
But that was because it was fucking 95 degrees out.
It doesn't matter.
That's
It's
the
still,
thing,
it's
though.
like it
That's the
flared
thing that
up.
worries you.
Yeah, and it's like,
But see, even in outdoors, though, when he came back for those last couple rounds where it was like at Budds Creek, it was hot, other than like with him hitting his dome because he crashed, he didn't have a fading issue.
well, I don't know. It makes me nervous. No matter anybody who's had it, it makes me nervous at this point, knowing what I know about it now. He is starting to impress me. I have come off my soapbox about him. So
I will say this: if he keeps continuing to podium, because with the way the way his mentality is, and kind of like having this chip on his shoulder, because he even said it like, "Oh, like, hey, I got a podium, but I want to get wins now. I got to get wins. I want to win this championship." This early in his career, I think that he is one of those guys, because he is still a kid, but he's not overzealous. I think he's in the right headspace. Like the people around him, they're good people. I know the people that are around him because one of my buddies was one of the reasons why the whole pro circuit thing kind of happened. He has a very good group of people to keep him in check, and I feel that like if he's in this title hunt, and I'm not saying he's going to be, but just say he is for the sake of this conversation, I feel that he is a guy that is capable of winning a championship because there's enough people around him that can keep him grounded.
Yeah.
Now, do I think he has the most outright speed in the class? No, he doesn't.
If he works on his whoops, though, it'll be game over.
that's exactly what Mitch Payton said in his post.
Yeah, because when he was closing on Joe at Mosman in the heat race, like he literally would catch him and then he'd get to the whoops and he'd just get dropped.
Yeah.
But everywhere else though, like dude, his corner speed is good, his technique is good.
Yep.
He's very
Starts
fluid.
are good.
And dude, did you see how easily he was carving corners, like getting inside of corners and just pivoting out of them?
Yeah.
Like that was, and that's not an easy thing to do on a Kawasaki.
Like I said, I've come off my soapbox with him. He is impressing me. 4 out of 10 races, I think, is the thing I've heard. He's been on the box, so
Yeah.
it's but again, nothing about it was flashy last year, other than he got that one win. Okay,
But
cool.
Joe
He did
was
do
the
that.
same, but Joe's not flashy either.
Joe wasn't flashy, but with the coast Joe was on, because he was on that whatever it was, the East Coast or whatever
I have a
one
hard
started
time
first.
Yeah, I have a hard time
It was like him Colt Jet, because Mosman got hurt
Yep.
like Indy and was out, and like so it was like, so I saw Joe more.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yeah, he's had 4 out of 10, so he only had 2 out of 8 last year was on the podium, and one of them was that win, which okay, cool. And outside of that, it was, it's just one of those things that gets lost in the shuffle of it's not really that impressive. He's not in my face like the whole Jet Lawrence thing, so that's where.
But I think that's a good thing though.
You don't really see it. Well, it's good and bad. In my opinion, it's the next Justin Cooper at this point is what I'm starting to see, where he's good. He's on the box all the time, gets, like races really well. But when it comes down to it in today's day and age with the social media stuff, like he's going to continue to get rides, don't get me wrong, and like and do well, but he's never going to be one of the guys like that.
But I'll say for a
unless
guy
he
like
wins all the time.
But I'll say for Seth
he's doing
Hammaker,
well.
though, he doesn't really, the kid like that, he doesn't give a shit about all that fame and fortune crap.
Well, I mean, you got to pay your bills.
But he's going to pay his bills as long as he continues to get rides.
Okay.
There are people in the sport, though, that we know that like the glamorous lifestyle. They thrive on that shit. We can think of a million different names. I mean, hell, we have, like I said, we had one from Michigan, Nico Izzy.
Yeah.
Like, they thrive on that stuff. But the way Hammaker is programmed, he doesn't care about that kind of shit. That kid is that kid just loves to ride a dirt bike.
Well,
so if he keeps getting rides and if he's winning races, championships, whatever, I'm pretty sure that if you asked him at the end of his career, hey, would you rather win a bunch of titles and be known for being one of the best motocrossers to ever live, or would you rather have all this fame and fortune, everybody?
But that's what he's going to have to do, is he's going to have to win a bunch of titles. And I'm not, like, as good as he is, I'm not fully convinced yet that he's going to win a bunch of titles.
I'll tell you right now.
You think he wins a bunch of titles?
The EBV is always going to be a big thing outdoors.
I think he could squeak a title off into.
I think right now, even though there is a person on the other coast that we know speed wise, if he doesn't kill himself, is one of the fastest dudes in the class. I'm going to say right now, Seth's the best dude on that PC team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think there's a debate. And you can talk about Joe, but he's beaten Joe 2 weekends now. And now whether you want to talk about how he beat Joe, it doesn't matter. Like, that's not his problem. Mm-hmm. It's not his problem that Joe hit the gate. It's not his problem that Joe fucking ragdolled himself in the whoop section.
Yeah.
And we know that McAdoo, Jet Reynolds, who I think Jet's going to be a bust. We'll talk about him when we get to East Coast. And Fortner. Now we know that Fortner, speed-wise, is faster than everybody. And probably Jet's the only dude in the class that's faster than him speed for speed. But we know how Austin is. Right now, Hammaker is probably the best dude on PC, and I don't think it's a question. because you know that if he can keep this up, he's just going to be a podium guy.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you win a championship by getting a bunch of podiums, guess what? It don't fucking matter how you win the championship.
I mean, that's fine, but I mean, do I see him where he could win a 250 title? Yes. Do I see him winning 450 titles? No.
No, but there's not a lot of dudes that can win 450 titles.
This is a long debate that we don't have.
See,
time
and
for
we're
at
gonna
this
get we're
point.
gonna get to this when we get to Thrasher because that's gonna be my long tangent.
Oh boy.
Why you think Thrasher wins the title?
No, but I'm gonna really go
All
off
right,
on the whole Thrasher.
Before we
thing.
get to Thrasher, I got to get my phone off the charger because we got Kev coming up soon.
Well, how long we got?
Talk about Mosman. I don't know. I got to go check because I haven't looked at it. Talk about Mosman.
Moseman, just Moseman. Let's talk
Mosman
about
is-
Stank.
I'll have one question on Mosman. Is he gonna get a win this year?
I don't know.
He needs to.
Great
What do you
question.
think he's going to?
I think he has to.
Okay, he has to, but do you think he's going to? If you were to put any like $5 down, would you bet on it?
I'd bet $5.
Okay. All right.
Would you?
See, yeah, I'd bet five.
Okay.
Like I'd bet 5 on him.
As long as they don't put, actually, I think they need to put those method wheels back on so everybody's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, no, that got a whole shitstorm on the whole. A lot of people were talking about
They're
that.
so ugly.
They were very up and down. There was a lot of people I saw that did not like them.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty ugly. Yeah. Anything else on Moseman? You think he gets a win?
No,
It's same Mosman, different year in my opinion.
looked really good in the heat race, but he always looks good in heat races.
Yeah.
man.
Now, don't get me wrong though. Again, it's like the guys in the 450 class. Some of these dudes are going to have to figure it out and get a win. Okay?
Yes.
Like just law of averages. Somebody's going to have to win, okay? And then at that point, it turns into, do they continue to win and it clicks them into that next gear, or do they not? And they're and
Yeah,
it's just
I don't
like,
know if that's where I'm
randomly
waiting to see
one
from
and done.
Moseman.
Well, you
I
wanna-
want to see the first one, and then maybe it'll click. Kind of
See, we always you always like to bring this up, talking about like getting rides and this and that. Mosman
Yeah.
eventually is not going to keep getting rides if he keeps riding.
Yeah,
like this.
not the way he's right. Well, he will, but it'll end up like.
He'll
But he
Probably
doesn't even have a
Max,
dude.
Muck-Off,
He
or-
doesn't.
Max,
But he doesn't
Muck-Off,
have
that
a.
kind of
He
stuff.
doesn't have a Supercross or outdoor win.
I know. That's why I'm saying.
I
like,
get what you're saying, but like I don't know. It just bugs me when you look at Mosman and everybody hypes him up, but yet he doesn't have a win.
What about Marchbanks looking like he needed a hot dog out there?
He is.
I'm out on Marchbanks, and I've been out on Garrett for a while. Addison's
Addison's,
disease.
I think, is still flaring at points.
His what?
He has Addison's disease.
which is like, what's it called?
Yeah, dude, it really is.
Addison Ray?
yeah.
No,
Yes.
Addison's disease. It's not as
He wishes he had that disease.
it's not as intense as EBV, but it definitely it's a long term thing. Like
Is
it
it?
doesn't just go away.
Yeah, so it's a
maybe
problem.
that's what it was in.
That's why
Maybe he
didn't-
should quit being so cocky.
All right, so what do you want to talk about Thrasher?
No, I just want to hear you bullshit.
What do you
'Cause-
mean you want to hear me bullshit?
Dude,
Okay,
can,
you
can
can't
we
give-
talk about the dirt ass of the industry that is Stank?
No, we're going to get into that in a second.
I don't.
I want to talk about
I got a
Thra-
lot of
I wanna
things to talk about.
I
with
want to
that.
talk about Thrasher first.
Okay, so you can't give this kid any credit at all. You just can't. Like you
What do
talk
you
about,
want me
he's
to
not
give
going
him
to get a
credit for?
rod. He got 5th last night, dude, and you
Okay,
were just
great.
like the whole time, 10 through 12. He
got-
got 5th, and he caught and passed everybody that he needed.
Yeah,
to
he
pass.
worked his way into 5th too.
Great, he got a 5th place.
So you're talking about,
Congratulations.
he needs a win to not have. Dude, I totally disagree with you. Talking about he won't have a ride next year. There's
He signed
no,
a 2-year deal.
and even if he doesn't get a win, that kid is going to keep continuing to get a ride.
First off, a 2-year deal on Star Yamaha means absolutely nothing if you don't perform.
All right, so I got 2 things to say because
Is
this,
Bobby Reagan on this pod?
I know, right? So I got 2 things to say
you
about
want to
this.
call him? We
He's a
could call
big
him.
star guy.
We could call him. I am. I'm Blue Crew.
All right, so
I
I
got
got
you got his number?
I got the inside line, bro.
So
You got his number?
I'm gonna give you two things about Thrasher. 2 things. All right. So one, everybody likes to talk about last year the Speedway wins. Oh, there's Speedway wins, this and that. And I'm gonna tell you that yes, the perception after he won those races is, he can win. Closer to outdoor tracks, but can he win a real Supercross race? Whether it's a football stadium, baseball field, maybe not. We don't really know. But all this, everybody, they don't mean as much as this and that. That's total bullshit. All those teams. Star, love those 2 wins just as much as if you're living at a fucking St. Louis or Orlando. And to say that just because they're speedway tracks, that you're basically saying every time somebody who wins a Daytona doesn't mean diddly dick squat. Go tell that to RC.
So that means Eli Tomac's a fucking
yeah, and I
squid.
mean, go tell Justin Brayton after the one and only Supercross win that he got doesn't mean anything.
okay. First off, doesn't mean diddly dick squat is an excessive exaggeration of what I'm saying.
But
Excessive.
okay, maybe not you, but there are people out there.
Second off,
Okay.
the speedway races are weird.
But they
I'm
still
not the
count
only-
as just as much.
I am not the only talking pundit in the industry talking about this. And as I said earlier, I could probably go back and find audio files from us from last year of you being on the same team of him and Fry are going to get fucking fired because they're not doing shit.
Jarrett Fry, yes, but I've been on the Thrasher bandwagon for a while now, so I don't think so.
I'm here to tell you, if 5th is the best he does this year, he's gonna be under Reagan's radar for the next season of fix your shit and get on the box, or you're gonna be at the fuck out.
Here's why I'll tell you you're wrong. Okay, and I've said, and here's why I'll tell you you're wrong. Not every person that is signed to a factory team is expected to win.
Not every person that's signed to a factory team is, but Star Yamaha's not a factory team.
Hold on. Yeah, well, your owner's got a lot of fucking money, and he's paid a lot for a lot of people. I don't think that's the
there's
issue.
no way in hell he looked at Jarrett Fry, or I don't even think he looks at Deegan.
So
you can win.
So listen though. Let me just hear me out. Just don't say anything. Just let me give my point. And I've said this to you a million times. Not every person that is hired to a team is expected to win. Everybody has their role, just like with stick and ball sports.
Yeah.
Yes, would your team owner and team manager like you to win? Of course, you're getting paid to do a job. But only so many people can win. Mm-hmm. So when you have guys like Christian Craig, Jeremy Martin, and obviously they're hurt, but if they weren't, Jay Coop and Colt Nichols, when those guys are on your team, you not winning is not as big of a deal. You getting 5th, 6th, or whatever when they're winning races, winning championships, it takes pressure off you.
Now, say maybe 2-3 years down the road, the narrative might change.
Because if you're the number one guy on the team, if you're the guy and everybody's gone, then yes. But we know that he's not. It goes them, him, and then Kitchen because Kitchen's a rookie in Supercross. So now to my next thing on that topic. Look at all the dudes that are right now active in the 250 class, and we'll go through who has even just one Supercross win. Husky, Jalik Swole, Styles Robinson. We know they sure as shit don't have a win. Does RJ have one? And if he does, it's one.
Okay, but
no, hold on. KTM, Max Volan, doesn't have a fucking win. And everybody's like, oh, he's a rookie season. Nate Thrasher's rookie season was last year, and everybody forgets. Him and Max Volan are pretty much the same age, if not the same age. Max Volan doesn't have a win. We'll not talk about the Suzuki team because, unfortunately, that's just whatever. Then we go to Club MX. Garrett Marchbanks has a win. Oh, what is his win? Daytona. All right. So then we go to the Cowie team.
He's the same way, and I said on the Cooksey show, he won one-off weirdo race there at Daytona, which is great. However...
But he's the main guy on his team,
Speedway.
But he's the main guy on his team,
Okay, great. But what Club MX expects out of their dudes is completely different than Star.
But he is the main dude. He is getting paid the most amount of money on that team.
Star is not paying dudes to get 5th to 10th place.
Hold on. All right, so you go to Cowie.
No matter what.
You go to Cowie.
The only way you get that is if you are a rookie signed to a multiple year deal, okay? So last year, him getting 5th to 10th place. I mean, dude, look at Fry last year.
Fry didn't even sniff a podium, though. Thrasher got 2 wins. That takes a lot of alleviation off you. Hold on. All right, let me go. Kawasaki. Joe's got 1 win.
Yeah.
McAdoo has what? 2, 3, and that all came last year. So what? Yep. Maybe 2, maybe 3. Seth Amaker, rookie, got 1 win. Fortner, we know, has a bunch of wins, but hasn't been able to stay healthy. Jet Reynolds is a rookie. Then we go to Honda. Hunter's got 1. Jet's up to 4 or 5 right now, right? 4 or 5. Yeah, okay, but Jet's not. Thrasher and Jet Lawrence are not the same person. Then you go to Star. Christian Craig, J Mart, Jay Coop, Colt Nichols all have wins, championships, or whatever. Levi Kitchen's a rookie. You start saying that Thrasher has to win all the time, and then you start saying that those dudes don't win. Do you really think Bobby Regan's going to fucking fire Colt Nichols and Justin Cooper because they don't win? Not every dude on your team can win. So you go through all those dudes. Guess what? The only 2 guy and the only other dude that has a win in the 250 class is Jordan Smith. But all those dudes that have wins, guess what? None of them won their rookie year. Nate Thrasher and Seth fucking Hamaker are the only 2 dudes out of active 250 guys that won a Supercross race their rookie year. I understand what you're saying, but dude, you have to remember, yes, Bobby Regan pays you to win, but when you have 4 other studs on your team, you not winning is not that big of a deal to him.
Until down the road.
Down the road. And 2-3 years ago, yes.
But Jarrett Fry, he needed to be a second-tier guy. And Jarrett Fry rode like a 3rd-tier guy. That's why he got axed.
Outdoors was different, but Supercross, yes. Outdoors, he was like 8 to 12. Supercross, he was terrible. And I like Jarrett Fry, but he was terrible in Supercross.
Here's what I'm saying about Thrasher. If he does not get on the podium this year, the pressure's on next year for him coming from
who's going to replace him?
Bobby Regan.
Who's going to replace him? You're going to tell me that they're going to put more emphasis on Nick Romano and Hayden Deegan, guys that we don't know what they're going to do, but then you're going to take away a guy that won 2 Supercross races?
Yes.
There's no way. There's no fuck no.
Who are they going to grab?
Bobby Regan will 100%
Who are they going to grab?
But he is, you can come in, your rookie year is okay, your second year, as long as you've got guys lined up like they do this year.
Why is Jeremy Martin not fired yet then?
Travis is over here talking like him and Bobby Regan have coffee
Jeremy Martin has, 3 fucking outdoor titles? Like, you're trying to compare a kid who's won 2 races.
Now I'm the one that's going from outdoor. We're not talking about outdoors. We're talking about Supercross.
You're trying to compare a guy.
We're talking about Supercross.
Okay.
And you like to talk about Jeremy Martin and Supercross.
Has Jeremy Martin won a Supercross race?
2. Maybe.
He's won 2. Okay. 2 or 3.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
And how long has he been? And this is coming from a J Mart huge homer.
2 wins and 3 outdoor titles.
The outdoor titles don't matter.
We're not talking about outdoors. We're talking about Supercross. Did Jeremy Martin even complete one race last year?
No.
My point exactly. You're like the one who likes to dog on J Mart all the time in Supercross.
Yep.
So right now, if we were to compare their Supercross in the last year,
Which is actually super ironic because J-Mart has 1 star, 3 outdoor titles.
2.
we're not talking
2?
about
I thought he won
outdoors.
3. Has he won 3?
No, it's 2. We're not talking about outdoors. We're talking about Supercross.
I'm just saying. You're asking me why do I think J-Mart will keep his job on that team? J-Mart's won 2
So you
outdoor
mean
titles
to
for
tell me that if he keeps not finishing Supercross seasons, but yeah, you have Nate Thrasher who maybe squeaks out a win or another win, has 2 wins, whatever, and then Jeremy Martin continues to just not make it through a Supercross season.
So,
and he didn't even win the outdoor title last year.
No, he didn't. So here's what I'm saying. If Thrasher doesn't sniff a podium this year, okay, he's got 2 wins last year. Comes back this year, sophomore year, should be better, right? But
And so far, he's already been better.
He's already been better.
He's already been better.
But he doesn't sniff a podium at all. Okay,
5th is sniffing.
the pressure,
It is.
the
Fifth is
pressure,
sniffing.
the pressure will be on next year.
Maybe not sniffing, but
and
he's
then
scratching.
if he doesn't perform next year because now he's got pressure on him, then yeah, I think he's out.
How is he? Okay.
Out of star.
Okay, so if everybody on the star team is off the 250s, how is it going to? You think he's just going to let him go?
What do you mean?
If Christian Craig is not on the 250, if Christian Craig, Jeremy Martin, Jay Coop, and Colton Nichols,
They all move up.
If they all move up, or whenever that happens, you really think that Bobby Regan is going to let a dude go? And Nate Thrasher, who has 2 Supercross wins, can get top 5s. We know he can be top 10 pretty much every race.
You think they're going to
outdoors.
fire him and hire a Mumford or an unproven LeBlanc or somebody like
Fucking
that?
Matt LeBlanc, I hate to say this, but Matt LeBlanc won't be on a Star Factory team. He's going to get axed after amateurs next year. So then that leaves Romano and Hayden Deegan. And Hayden Deegan, let's be honest, is going to be the biggest question mark to ever come out of an amateur racing program.
He ain't even under contract.
And Romano, I think will be good. So then that leaves Nate Thrasher, Hayden Deegan, Nick Romano, and Levi Kitchen. And we don't even know what Levi's going to do. And this is coming from, once again, a guy who supports Levi Kitchen.
And they can't, you don't think they can sign someone else from a different team?
All the
who's
dudes are
out of
moving
con-
up.
Who are they going to get?
Who are they going to
I
get?
don't know. I don't know because I don't know.
And see, this is why I don't agree
I don't know
with
the
what you're
amateurs,
saying.
and I don't know the contracts as well in the 250s.
Well,
as I do
Chance
the
Hymas has
450s.
already signed to a factory deal with Honda, and Ryder D's going to Pro
Yeah,
Circuit.
he's not leaving that. And
So
nobody's
So
nobody's
who are they
signing.
going to grab? You think they're going to grab
I don't
Mumford
know.
over a guy
I don't
who
know.
won races?
I don't know.
This is why I totally disagree with you.
Is that a joke? They bring these kids in all the fucking time who've never won a fucking Supercross
Thrasher
and ask
did.
people.
Nate Thrasher won one.
He won
Two of them.
2.
They do this all the fucking time, and you think this is a weird comment
And this
coming
is
from me?
It's not weird, but this is why I totally disagree with you because your logic doesn't make sense.
What do you mean my logic doesn't make sense?
I don't- I
doesn't make
Alex
sense.
Martin has won outdoor races and podiumed fucking 250 Supercrosses.
How many years
and
ago was that?
None of these teams have signed him in 250s.
How many years ago was that? When was the last
Quite a
time
few
he was
years
relevant?
ago.
2018?
So
2018.
So again, I'll ask you, if he doesn't get a podium this year and then next year starts to fucking really spiral because he's actually got pressure on him because he's supposed to be one of the guys, then all of a sudden everything's just cool. Like it's cool
you're
he's
talking,
not performing.
Now you're talking future tense. You're talking 3 years down the road.
Yeah,
now.
I'm talking about right now. A 5th already? What was his best fin? He didn't even sniff the top 5.
I think he was sniffing top 5 until Derek Kelly fucking squidded.
Yeah, exactly. So my point is that he's fine. Bobby Regan
I
does
think
not
he's
expect
fine.
him to win.
I think he's fine.
He doesn't expect him to win, dude. Like, there's no
I think
way.
he's fine.
We know how Bobby Regan is. You can't tell me that you think that Bobby Regan expects Nate Thrasher to win when he has 4 studs.
But I get what you're saying. Maybe 2 years down the road, he
Yes.
won't be fine. But
If
right
all the-
now, he's fine.
If you tell me that Nate Thrasher, Levi Kitchen, Hayden Deegan, and Nick Romano, that's the 4 team, then yes. Nate Thrasher is going to be expected to win championships and win all the fucking time.
Yeah.
But when
2
you have
years
4
down the road.
But when you have 4 dudes that are proven winners,
Wait, so you think I'm saying that like after this year he's going to be off?
didn't you say that in the text last night? You were saying something about
yeah,
how
you're
if
like,
he
after
doesn't win,
this
he's
year,
going to be
he's
off a ton.
done all this shit. And I was like, dude, he's got a 2-year deal.
Yeah, I thought you said last night that if he doesn't win a race, he's going to be off the team next year.
I don't know.
That's why I'm so fired up because
Well,
I don't agree with that at all.
We'll have to look at that. We
I
gotta
bet
call
95% of the people listening are on our side of the boat.
We got to call Kev here.
Dude, it's good. 5th is good. Caught and passed Freezy. Actually dropped Freezy. That was-
5th would be good on any team that's not Star Yamaha.
Okay.
Because Star Yamaha is a fucking team of champions.
Yeah. Guys that are